Today I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of Saint Therese of Lisieux. Saint Therese is also known as Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. She was born on January 2, 1873, in Alençon, France, and her name was Therese Martin. She was the youngest of 9 children, though only 5 daughters survived childhood. Her parents, Louis and Zélie Martin, were devout Catholics and were later canonized as saints. From an early age, Saint Therese was deeply spiritual, and she was also very emotionally intense. When she was just 4 years old, her mother died of breast cancer. After this loss, the family then moved to Lisieux, where Therese lived a quiet life with her father and sisters. Her older sisters became like mothers to her, especially Pauline, who later entered the Carmelite convent. As a child, Therese struggled with being overly emotional, for she would easily cry and feel things deeply. She would even cry over a dead bird she saw in fields, which truly manifested her deep sense of emotion. But on Christmas Eve in 1886, at age 13, she experienced what she would call her complete conversion. From that moment, she was determined to give her whole life to God. When she was 15 years old, she joined the Carmelite order, but she was told she was too young. Later that year, she had a pilgrimage to Rome. She boldly knelt before Pope Leo XIII and pleaded for permission to enter the convent. The Pope was impressed by her desire, and eventually her wish was granted. In April 1888, she finally entered the Carmelite order. She wanted to do small things with great love, which became the essence of her spiritual path, and this was famously called the little way. This meant that even the smallest acts, such as picking up trash from the floor or holding the door open, could mean a great thing when done with love for God. She believed holiness didn't come from big actions, but from love and trust in God through the ordinary things in life. In the convent, she took the religious name Sister Therese of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. Her life was quiet, marked by daily routines, obedience, and hidden suffering. Unfortunately, she contracted tuberculosis, and when her health was deteriorating, her superiors encouraged her to write her autobiography. Later, this book was published as The Story of a Soul, which tells about her love for God, struggles, and her belief that anyone could become saint by trusting completely from God. On September 30th, 1897, Saint Therese died at the young age of 24 years old. Her last words were, "My God, I love you." After her death, her body was buried in Lisieux, and later a beautiful basilica was built in her honor, which is called the Basilica of Saint Therese of Lisieux in France. On May 17, 1925, Saint Therese was canonized, and in 1997, Pope John Paul II declared her the Doctor of the Church, recognizing the depth of her spiritual wisdom, even though she had never studied theology. Today, Saint Therese of Lisieux is one of the most beloved saints of the Catholic Church, known as the Little Flower, for her life reminds us that even the smallest acts of love, done with faith, can change the world. If you like stories like this, support us, follow, like, and subscribe.